So it is day 11 of this, my anime discussions and introducing you into new stuff. So I'm going to go with Full Metal Alchemist for this, but not only am I going for Full Metal Alchemist, I'm going for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So if you see here, this is the list line, all the individual DVDs like they used to sell back in the day of the series, and that is Full Metal Alchemist. This is the first series that they did based on a set of books, and I have all the books over there that you can't see, so let's move it all up. So you'll see the dark grey books, the three piles on the two piles, on the right, around all the pops and that. That is the full edition. That's all the editions that released the Full Metal Alchemist. Now, that series there doesn't always follow that. It veers off, and there's areas and stuff like that doesn't do as well. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is this collection, this follows that series more or less to the T. It is, I will show you the covers. So we have there, so it's two of the characters, that's General Bradley and his son. That is, I have to just make sure. Yeah, that's Edward Elric and Alphonse Elric. That is Ying and his security guards, or his bodyguards, I should say. There is the Flame Alchemist himself, Colonel Mustang. And then a picture of Edward Elric. And basically there is nothing really inside, so and then obviously they did do a feature film which isn't from the anime, which is quite good. So this is the story of basically a world where alchemy is alive and frivolous, and people who don't know, it's kind of like magic. Basically you take the elements of something and you turn it into something else. So if somebody gave you all the elements to bake a cake, if you drew a symbol around it, you could actually make a cake, because you are just changing those properties into something else. So if you had a tree, you could turn it into a small wooden house, but it has to be the same. So this is an equation that they have called equivalent exchange, and this is kind of the key factor throughout. This starts off with two brothers, Alphonse and Edward. They live on a little farm with their friend Winry, who lives next door. Their dad leaves, and unfortunately shortly after their dad leaves, their mum dies all of a sudden. Now these kids have started to learn alchemy, how to change stuff, and they want to bring their mum back. So what they do is they create this, create a symbol, a very specific symbol for potentially bringing someone back. They use all the elements of the human body and they try to do it. Unfortunately, this backfires. Alphonse, the younger brother, he gets basically taken into this other dimension, and so does and to save Edward, and so basically Alphonse, he going in, his body's basically been sucked into there. Also Edward, the elder brother, he loses his leg, so one of his legs basically disappears, and this is equivalent exchange. Obviously there are elements that they miss, like the soul and that, and this is why parts of them are being taken. Now for Edward to save his brother, he binds the soul of his brother to a suit of armour, which is why you have the big guy player. That is his brother. So his brother is basically a hollow suit of armour. He can move, he can talk, he can kind of feel but not, he can't eat or anything, and that's his. Now Edward, obviously to bind his brother's soul, he sacrifices his arm, so he has a cybernetic arm and a cybernetic leg. Now, because what they did is actually outlawed, so they can't tell anybody what they've tried to do, because you're not allowed to create life from it. He joins the younger brother, or the older brother, sorry, Edward. He joins the military, and he becomes what is called the Full Metal Alchemist, because they're all alchemists, but they've all got specific powers, and like the Flame Alchemist and stuff like this. And then it's him and his brother are searching for a item called the Philosopher's Stone. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you would have heard of that. But this one, it supposedly can create life from nothing without that equation. The story then goes on of basically them trying to find life, finding other people. There's wars involved, and the military have been doing stuff. And basically there are creatures called homunculi, which are artificial E-type humans. The guy with the actually, I'm not going to say because it will give stuff away. But yeah, basically there are artificial humans. They're all named after the 7 deadly sins, and they kind of wreak havoc along the way. You also have an Ishvalan, which is kind of a guy from another foreign one. He has a destructive power in one of his arms. And yeah, it's just, you've got these zany characters and how they work together. It's only like 50 odd episodes, but it is amazing. A true story of brothers who go through a lot of heartache. This anime has happy moments. You'll be laughing. There are some action that have you on the side of the seat. There are some really sad moments as well, and these are used as memes everywhere. You may have even come across some and not understood it at the time. But yeah, so this has been my current day. Obviously, it's quite a big one to take onto, but yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. I love it to death. I do have a few tattoos of it, but I'm not going to show them on this channel. But yeah, hopefully you're liking this series. Yeah, please do let me know in the comments if not, or even if you are, maybe there is something I've missed, and I may feature. I've still got, what, 20 odd days to do. Otherwise, I've been Cypher Sigma. I shall see you in the next one.